Filmed near Pokrovsky in the east of Ukraine, the footage shows a large-scale assault on Vladimir Putin's invading troops as the bloody war rages on. The video, shared by Ukraine on various online platforms, including X and Telegram, shows smoke billowing from the destroyed Russian tanks after the devastating aerial attack. The caption reads, "In the Pokrovsky direction, the Russians are attempting assaults with entire columns of equipment. Titans of the 21st OBSP OPBR meet them with FPV drones. A separate battalion of special forces, together with the 46th OAEMBR and the 59th OMPBR, congratulate Ukraine on the Day of Tank Troops by reducing the number of tanks of the Russian Federation." The drone attack comes after Russian dictator Vladimir Putin vowed to melt Kiev if Ukraine uses British missiles to strike Russia. Prime Minister of Russia Dmitry Medvedev said permission for Ukraine to fire the rockets over enemy lines would spark a fierce response on its capital. Referring to Kiev, he wrote in a Telegram post, "And that would be it. A giant, gray, melted spot instead of the mother of Russian cities." He also ranted about how Russia is showing patience, but that the West should not assume Putin would balk at crossing the line or triggering an apocalypse with nuclear weapons. Medvedev threatened to use hypersonic missiles to sink Britain if Zelensky's armies were granted the go-ahead with UK Storm Shadow missiles. Earlier this week, Sir Keir Starmer was in Washington, D.C. for crunch talks with Joe Biden. Last night, the Kremlin accused 6 British diplomats of espionage and revoked their accreditation, according to Russian news outlets. The FSB, Russia's secret service, hasn't named any of the 6 diplomats, but insisted that they were a threat to the pariah state's security. Aging despot Putin made the comments about the use of NATO member missiles to Russian state-controlled TV on Thursday. Answering a question about the probable outcome, Putin added, "If that's the case, then taking into account the change of nature of the conflict, we will take the appropriate decisions based on the threats that we will face." But plucky Sir Keir batted away the threat, saying, "Russia started this conflict. Russia illegally invaded Ukraine. Russia can end this conflict straight away. Ukraine has the right to self-defense, and obviously we've been absolutely fully supportive of Ukraine's right to self-defense, providing training capabilities. But we don't seek any conflict with Russia. That's not our intention in the slightest. But they started this conflict, and Ukraine's got a right to self-defense." Russia launched a large-scale invasion of Ukraine on February 24, 2022. After more than 900 days of war, Russia and Ukraine show no sign of letting up in the fight or moving closer to the negotiating table. Recently, Ukraine began a large-scale push into Russian territory. It was the first ever invasion on Russian soil since World War II. Russians have been scrambling to defend Kiev's audacious move, which sparked a counter-terror operation in regions of Belgorod, Bryansk, and Kursk. Russia has sent their own tanks, trucks, and troops in to fight Ukrainian troops who caught them off guard. An attempt by Moscow's troops to storm Ukrainian positions in Russia's Kursk Oblast failed, according to Ukraine's military, which released video it said showed the extent of the battle. Ukraine's forces entered the Russian region on August 6th, and Kiev has claimed to have captured 500 square miles of territory, as speculation grows about the long-term objectives of such a bold push.
Постріл! Постріл! Постріл!
While Russia's initial response was slow, Moscow's troops have started to counterattack, and there are unconfirmed reports that they had recaptured some lost territory. But Ukraine's air assault forces posted on Telegram how one attempt by Russian forces to storm its positions had failed. Ukrainian troops crushed them in a several-hour battle, reported Ukrainska Pravda on Saturday. The outlet cited the force's Telegram post, which said, "The enemy threw 14 units of military equipment at the positions of Ukrainian paratroopers, including 2 tanks, 11 infantry fighting vehicles (IFVs), and 1 armored personnel carrier." However, Russia's attempt to break through Ukrainian defensive positions failed, the Post said, adding that Ukrainian paratroopers proved in a heavy battle that lasted several hours that they are better at military affairs. The 73-second video showed a series of explosions, including what it said was the destruction of an IFV and a building in which Russian troops were concentrated in. Another frame showed a FPV drone hitting another IFV. It said 5 IFVs, a tank, and an APC were destroyed, and several dozen Russian troops killed, while many fled. It comes amid an assessment by the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, on Friday that said Russian forces have continued to counterattack throughout the Ukrainian salient in Kursk Oblast, but will need more troops for the operation.
Москвич, да, принят.